Welcome back. In this video, we are going to look at how to use data gen. So I'm currently on data gen SQL connector. Okay, so when it comes to the official Flink website, you see something like connectors, then look for data gen. And if you read this data gen connector, it just allows you to generate sample data from in-memory, written by the Flink guys. So assuming you want to generate random data and push that data into Kafka system, you can use this connector as a pilot, okay? So it's built in, and then you specify the connector like this, data gen, and other parameters. Okay, there's another one called print. The print it allows for writing every row to the standard output. Okay, and it's designed for easy tests for streaming jobs. Very useful in production for production debugging. Yeah, so that is it. That one to you specify just print. Okay, and there's a third one called BlackHome. It's a connector that allows for swallowing all input records. It is designed for high performance testing, a user-defined function to output, not substantive sync. And it behaves just like the dev now as used in Linux system, and it's a built-in connector. Okay, so all you need to do is to specify a BlackHome. So those BlackHome is just the connector is just one of the options, okay, and it's required, okay. So yeah, so we'll be looking at these three, the data gen, the print, and then the BlackHome, okay. So let's go back to our Jupyter notebook. So I'm just going to be pasting some code because we don't want to type it. It's a lot. We don't want to type everything. We just paste and then explain it. So here I have all these imports, environment settings, table environment, and then we initialize our environment settings and then the table environment. So I'm just going to run this cell. The next is to create a source table. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that. Then I'm just going to say create source table. Okay, so this is how the source table looks like. So we are using the environment, the table environment, and then we create SQL, and the syntax is create table data gen. This is the name of the table. And because we are generating random data, we can specify any kind of column to control the kind of random data that we want. So we want an ID, so we expect an int UUID, we expect a string price, we want a decimal with 2 decimal places, and then order time, we want a timestamp with these 3 parameters. And then with the width options, we have the connector, and then the connector we just looked at is what data gen. And then the kind of field is a sequence, the start is 1, then end is 10. Okay. So you can choose to ignore the field types. Yeah, you can choose to ignore it, but let me just maintain it. So once we run this thing, we're going to get table results. The next one is to create a sync table, okay, where we want to send the randomly generated data to, okay. We want to sync it to either the print, or we want to sync it to the BlackHome, or we can also sync it to the BlackHome or the file system. Remember that this data gen, it's unbounded, okay, but you can control the number of data that needs to be generated, and then that makes it to a bounded data streams, okay. So this is unbounded. So that because this is unbounded data stream, That's why we are using the in-streaming mode, okay, because it's not a batch. So we are using the in-stream. If you use a batch mode, it's going to throw an error. So use the stream mode. So now we want to create the sync table, okay? Well, once I paste that in, we will be changing some few parameters. So here, we want to use the print generator, and that is going to print it to the console for us. So we just have to make sure that this streaming data will be put into this table, okay? And you make sure that the columns names are the same, and then you specify the connector to be print. So we are connecting from this data gen to this built-in print. And this built-in print, we already saw it. They just print to the console, okay? And the next thing we want to do is to create a table for this. So we can say source table is equal to table env dot from path, okay? From path, and then we specify the data gen table name, okay? You can choose any name that you want here, but just make sure that the name from the source table is the same as this one. So I'm just going to run this as well. And so what we want to do here is that we want to select the columns, all the columns from that data gen table, okay, or that data gen stream. So I'm just going to paste this. So this code is using the source table and selecting the ID column. And then we are doing some manipulation here, okay, or transformation here. We are just adding one to every ID that is generated. We just want to add one and then alias it as what? ID. And then we select the UUID, the price, and then the order time. Okay. Once we put that in a result table, we can now execute this. Okay, so let's do this. So what we can do is to write this result to the print table. Okay, so what we'll do here is we say result table dot execute underscore insert. So we want to insert into the print table. We've seen this before, so we sync that to the print table and then wait. Okay. Once we do this, I'm just going to run it. Okay, so you can see how the data looks like, but it's not well formatted, okay? So what we can do here is to say result table dot execute dot print. Okay, this is going to print it to this same data to the console. Okay, I'm going to run this. So now you can see the data is now well formatted. You can see the ID. You can see that it's an increment of 1. So the first element was 1, but 1 was added. So 2, 3, 4 in that order. And then the UUID is generated for us. The price is generated for us. And then the order time. Okay. The full date time. Okay. So it's a timestamp. Okay, so what if we want to write this to the black hole? Okay, so all we need to do is to, let me recopy this to a new cell. Once I do that, where is the other one? So let me copy this one as well. So what I can change here is we want to use the black hole, okay? Black hole. Yeah, so everything is going to stay the same. And then let me run this. Say print. Okay, so let me call it print v2, print v2. Okay. I think I didn't see the result. Okay, so let me run the data gen again. Once I run the data gen, okay, let me make it v3, v3. Okay, so I think it's written. So let me just run the result table dot execute dot print. Okay, so I think it generated a new set of values. I was not sure why it was not printing just like this one. Yeah, so I think it printed. Let me make it. Let me make the table if not exist. What is that? Okay, so let me make it 4. Okay, if not exist, doesn't work here. I don't know if it's exist or just exist, but let's keep it at print v4. Okay, so now once we run this, we're going to get a new stream of new values. I was just trying things out, so bear with me. Now, if we want to use the okay, so now we've used the black hole, we've used the print. What if we want to use the file system? Okay. Okay, so let's change this to, we want to write this data to the file system, and then we want the format to be, should we choose JSON or CSV? Okay, let's choose CSV. And then the path that we want to write it, the data to is gonna be dot / let me call it stream / stream output. Okay, so let's just maintain this name. Okay, because the data is coming in as a stream, we should expect that our files should be path files. So it's going to save a lot of different files. So let's run this. Okay, I think the name is, so let's change the name to 5, print v5, print v5. Let's run that. Okay, so now it's done. Let's refresh. So now we have our stream folder here. If I open it, we can see 7 seconds ago, there's a bunch of path files. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, just like the rows here, there are 10 of them. So each line, you can see that the value is 71147. Okay, the values here are different. I don't see the 711. Let me open another one. 882. 882. Okay, I think these values are different. But you get an idea. So it will write these files as path files, different files. Okay, so if I come out of that, okay, so now the files are what? CSVs. Okay, it's a CSV. What if we want a JSON? Okay, so let's try if we can get JSON. Let's make it V6, V6, and then let's call it JSON, and then the stream, we can call the output there as JSON. Okay, so let's run this. Let's open that. You can see the JSON file is written 5 seconds ago. If I open it, you can see that they are the same path files with different numbers. So 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. So if we open it, you can see that the output of the stream is in a JSON file. So you can see the curly braces, the ID, the UUID, the price, and then the order time. Okay, so this is how you can write the output to a JSON file instead of a CSV. Yeah, so I think these are some of the things you can play with. I haven't played with this in a while, but it's good I'm able to remember all these options that are available. So keep playing with it, and then I'll see you in the next one.